Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Good evening. It is actually a beautiful, beautiful evening. Thought we'd do a bit of a stream outside because, to be honest, I couldn't sit in the studio anymore. It was absolutely baking. Do us a big favour, hit the like button, share button, retweet button. We're going to talk Jack Grealish, and he's having his crunch talks with Aston Villa about his future are going to start to take place next week. Essentially, the decision makers at Aston Villa have been away on holiday, as has Jack Grealish. It's why we haven't really heard anything about his pending departure, both with Man United and Man City and a few other clubs, maybe even Tottenham, looking at him as an option. That is a transfer that is going to start to really spike and take up a lot of headlines over the next couple of weeks. We'll delve into that. There's also another one which we'll delve into very, very quickly. Fati has been linked to Manchester United again. It's the third, maybe fourth time I've seen him linked to Manchester United over the course of the past 4 or 5 weeks, maybe a bit longer than that. For me, complete and utter nonsense. Don't believe that. Don't look at it at all. I don't even think it's anywhere near happening. But we're going to delve into that. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A as well, so take your calls, listen to your questions. Super chats, of course, take precedent. Do us a big favour before we go any further. Smash that like button right now. Really, really important to us. And then aside from that, download the Flick app. It's the best way to stay in touch with the Football Terrace community. So many of you are already on there. Hundreds of you have now downloaded it. We're pushing towards that 1,000 mark. It's free of charge, no adverts, doesn't cost you a penny. Get it downloaded right about now. Leonardo says quick dunk in the pool. Already been in the pool a few times today. No. Someone do a super chat and make him jump in the pool. Same as always. Someone does £100, then I'll do it. Other than that, if we hit £100 in total, or someone does £100, I'll do it. Other than that, I'm not getting wet. It's as simple as that. A comment here says there's no way Barca will let one of their best talents in years leave. I agree with you. I think they're more likely to let Lionel Messi leave than they are Fati, because Messi's going to be amazing for another 3 or 4 years, but that's it. You know, he's getting towards that age now, 32, 33. The link is absolutely outrageous. I get connecting Man United with Kingsley Coman, with Douglas Costa, with Ousmane Dembele. I get those links because of the Sancho deal. But the Fati deal is stupid. It's a genuinely stupid link that makes no sense. That I don't think a single person in their right mind believes holds any kind of truth whatsoever. Ansu Fati is not going to come to Manchester United. He's generational, he's brilliant. There's so much to look forward to as football fans in relation to him. But he isn't going to be a Man United player, least of all this summer. Cannot see it happening in a month of Sundays. Aaron here says, I've seen that United want to hijack the Havertz deal. We spoke about that earlier on today. Again, absolute baloney. Baloney. Just nonsense, mate. There's actually nothing credible about that link whatsoever. There isn't a quote. There isn't any kind of in-the-know, credible journalist that's connected to it. There isn't a quote from an owner of a football club. The only thing you have is that the manager of Leverkusen said that a number of clubs are interested, most of all Chelsea. You could argue that one of those clubs is Man United, but it's a nonsense in my opinion. Let's talk Jack Grealish. Remember, keep smashing that like button. The Jack Grealish situation is interesting because he was heavily linked with Man United. And then the asking price of £80 million came up at the end of the Premier League campaign, just two and a half weeks ago. And it died very quickly. It went away. We moved on. Sky and all the news channels moved on to Havertz. They moved on to Sancho. They moved on to the completion of the Werner deal. And all this type of stuff was going on. Liverpool had their links with Thiago continue. But the main reason the Grealish deal went away is because the ball was put in Man United's court of 80 million. United have said, absolutely not. We're not going to pay £80 million for him at this moment. Jack Grealish himself then went away. He's been on leave. He's been on holiday. He's been recuperating. At the same time, a lot of the key decision makers at Aston Villa. I want to say the gentleman's name is Christian Paulson. There's something about that sounds wrong. But the key decision makers have also been away on holiday. What is now going to happen next week when they start to return and they're back in the UK is Jack Grealish is first of all going to sit down and have talks with Aston Villa to look at what the future has. You know, can we come to an arrangement? Can I leave for a little bit less money? How can I get a move away? What needs to happen? That information will then be directed into the football clubs, and it will then be down to them to make contact with Aston Villa. But I think what Jack Grealish is trying to do is use his influence at the clubs. You never know when your credit's going to run out. You don't know what kind of season you're going to have next year, and maybe the moves won't be on, maybe the money won't be as good, wherever it may be. But I do think this is positive news for Man United. I do think this is positive for all the clubs that are looking at Jack Grealish, because in my heart of hearts, I don't think he really and truly wants to be there. Villa all know that and want to sell him. They want to get maximum money. £80 million, in my opinion, is well above. Factually, it's above the market valuation. I think his market value fluctuates with various organisations from 35 up to around 55 million. So 80 is hugely over by anybody's estimations. With some financial consultancies, it's almost double. It's more than double with some, in fact. So for me, I think the Jack Grealish situation has an opportunity to come off, but we just need to see what happens with these talks. As I say, the other piece of news, Ansu Fati, that deal isn't going to happen. Man United fans, don't delude yourself with it. Don't go crazy on it. It just simply isn't happening. I also get this sense as well that there's a lot of deals pending at the moment, and there hasn't been a major transfer yet. And let me just reiterate this. Ziyech was confirmed before lockdown. Werner had a buyout clause. Werner's deal won't set a precedent in the post-CV19 footballing world. It can't. So I almost feel like whether it's Villa, you can argue Ake. Again, I don't look at Ake, I don't look at the Torres deal. They're not big deals in my view. And of course, buying from a relegation team that's been relegated is again very different. Okay, someone straight away, Werner. No, Werner isn't a big deal in the sense of the transfer fee because there was a buyout clause. The same as if Thomas Partey was signed today by somebody for £42 million, that isn't a marker because there's a buyout clause. Seriously, don't get emotional over that. So as I said before, it's going to take a deal. It might take the Havertz deal. It could take the Sarr deal. It could be the Grealish. Could be the Jadon Sancho deal. There's going to come a point where these clubs are going to have to stick or twist. The sellers, the vendors, I'm saying here, because they don't want to. I'll give you an example. If you're at Aston Villa and you've got 2 or 3 players earmarked as replacements for Jack Grealish, but you start seeing them in serious talks with other clubs, you can't sit and watch the parade go by. And I think that's the element that will force things along. Plus, there hasn't been a marker. If Jack Grealish goes for 80 million, if Declan Rice goes for 65 million, if Ben Chilwell goes for 60 million, you're not going to get Jack Grealish cheaply. It's impossible. Do you get what I'm saying? But yet, if you get a Zaha or a Sarr go for 25, 30 million, sets a marker. Players that in recent years have been valued very high, and I think we'll get more of a domino effect. And it's why I was really excited about the Kai Havertz deal that we thought was going to be finalised a week or so ago until Leverkusen went, actually, we're not doing anything until somebody else moves first, because it would have set a benchmark and a marker for the post-CV19 world. And by the way, it doesn't need to be a Premier League signing. It could be somebody that a big signing a European club makes. And I'm talking a substantial signing that's going to cost a fair amount of money. Say a few things here. Van der Beek likes playing total football. Why would he join a defensive team? Who are you talking about? I haven't seen Van der Beek linked with a defensive team, really. I've seen him linked with Real Madrid and Man United. They're not defensive. Let's do some more of these comments. Terry, who do you think we will sign first? Talk about Man United. I've got a feeling it will be At the moment, I feel like it will still be Jadon Sancho, as in a marquee signing. I'm not talking about like a backup. Like if we start like a backup left back, I'm not worried about that. Do you get what I'm saying? If we signed Jamal Lewis tomorrow, yes, it's officially the first signing, but I'm thinking marquee here. A comment in front of us says Dortmund are probably going to wait for Bayer Leverkusen to sell Havertz so that Dortmund can ask for a similar price up front or something along those lines, or Leverkusen are waiting for the same. It could very well be. I mean, Leverkusen and Dortmund could be working in tandem with one another. I mean, not sort of on the phone every day chatting, but listen, let's just none of us twist. None of us twist yet. Let's just keep our heads and see if we can drive these prices up of these players in the Bundesliga. And remember, Kai Havertz, you know, we had the message, we've seen the conversation that his sister has had with somebody, that they felt the early part of August he'd be coming to London to get this done. That echoes something that I'm starting to feel around the Sancho deal. Both Leverkusen and Dortmund lose money in this deal if their players don't hand in transfer requests. I almost feel like both clubs are working collectively, or at least working off the same hymn sheet, to say, let's force the players into asking to leave so we get more of the mega bucks transfer fee that's coming in, because all clubs have lost money. They've all lost tens of millions of pounds in match day revenue. No one's being sold for as much money as they were going to be sold for six plus months ago, as an example. Why would they then want to, you know, in Dortmund's case, they've got to pay out a good 15 odd mil to maybe even 20 mil, I've read in some newspapers, to Man City. They're losing loads of money. Why would, if they can save an extra 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 10 million in what they would have to pay these players for leaving, why would they not do that? Have you seen the video of Ollie saying something will happen tomorrow? What? Where he's on the side of the pitch? Yeah. Look, I thought he said Tuesday when I lip read it, but I'm not a professional lip reader, so I don't really know what it is that he said. But we'll just wait and see, won't we? We'll just wait and see. We'll just wait and see whether anything like that actually happens at all. A few people asking for an update, so I'll give it to you. First and foremost, the Fati link to Man United. From our point of view here at the Football Terrace, we think that's absolute nonsense. In relation to Jack Grealish, he's back from holiday next week. So are some of the key decision makers at Aston Villa. When that happens, there'll be talks internally at Aston Villa about his potential move to Manchester United to try and see how the land lies. I think from next week, you'll start to see the Jack Grealish move really start to pick up pace. Ah, little munchkin, you can say hello, wave, say hi. You gonna say hi? He's gonna be out of bed soon. Gabriel update. There is no update. Nothing's happening with Gabriel anywhere at this moment in time, as far as I'm aware. Let's read a few more of these comments that come through. Do you think Chelsea will have the best attack in the league with the players they've signed? If you add Havertz to it, then on paper you could have. If Man United land Sancho, no, you don't. If Man United land Sancho, based on everything else that's going on right now, Man United would have the best, in my view. Jump in the pool, Terry. Listen, I only do requests like that if people pay me. If you want me to do something physical, you want me to move out this chair, £100 in super chats, and that's the only way. Let's see a few comments here. Alaba would be a great signing. He can play anywhere in the defence and is also very fast. United just need to pay the 120 million. Well, my view is that Man United have offered 120 million, and it's more about the breakdown, the instalments, how much goes up front, and then the legalities around the clauses. I also feel that Dortmund, where United say they're not being held to ransom, I think there's an element where Dortmund keeps saying, do X, Y, and Z. We deliver X, Y, and Z, and then the goalposts get moved. I believe Dortmund are doing that to try and force Jadon Sancho into putting in a transfer request. There's reports come out of Sky today that United have said that, you know, they're not willing to pay that amount of money and stuff. I think that's absolute nonsense. I really do. A few people here saying that Flick is a great app. Absolutely. Get it downloaded right now, or get it downloaded after this stream. The link is in the description below. It's completely free of charge. Make sure when you're on there using the pixels, the emojis on there are amazing. Get that app downloaded for us right about now. What are my thoughts on this Dembele to Man United? I pray to the gods. I pray to the gods that this doesn't ever, 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 ever happen. Ever. Centurion's 100 points says, what is Flick? Flick is a new app. It's a sports-based app where there are multiple community pages. There are other YouTubers on there, other communities on there. But the Football Terrace has its own community on there where there's lots of different chat feeds, lots of polls. Like tonight, you're going to have like an in-game live chat for the Atalanta PSG game. You can go in there and predict scores. That then generates league tables. There are all sorts of things going on in that app. It's going to grow over time. Flawless, who's obviously part of the United, that United show, is going to be someone who's going to be running that for us. So get that downloaded. It doesn't cost any of you a penny. Really supports the Football Terrace massively. So please get that done. Super chat here says 150 and you'll jump in the pool. Okay, is $150 £100? Yes. Cole. If someone donates that or the equivalent of £100, I'll jump in a pool for you. But other than that, I'm staying sat on this chair, dry, chilling. That's what I'm doing. It's just said Liverpool have got 170 million boost for transfers. Listen, I told everybody Liverpool have got money. Liverpool will have money. This spin that's been put out there to say Liverpool don't have money, they can't afford it, is crazy. What if people donate 100? Yeah, listen, if you all donate £1 each, that'd actually be like £920. But what I'm saying is, if it reaches £100 on super chats, I'll do it. There we go. Sancho refuses to ask to leave. And maybe he does, because maybe he wants his cut. Remember, it's in his contract that if the transfer goes through, then, like, if a transfer goes through, then he has to do it. It's as simple as that. So he's not going to want to put a transfer request in. Let's just turn around and say that it's £5 million. That's in Sancho's contract. He doesn't want to put in a transfer request. He just wants the club to sell him. He's going to want that money. Mate, you donated the money. Bro. For fuck's sake. All right, cool. I'm still streaming and chatting to you, man, right now. I won't forget. I'm setting it at 200, 300 next time. Hundreds. Some of you, man, watching have got money, bruv, and that's cool for you. But, geez. End the stream. Not now. Yeah, I will end the stream first. No worries. Also, I've got jogging bottoms on, so I can't be jumping. Oh, I will just jump in with them on. It's cool. I've got to go and wash now. Hayden's laughing there. United fans, you can have a free defender in Mustafi. No, that ain't happening, bro. Come on, get some questions in for me. Let's do a bit of a Q&A. Ask me about any transfers you've seen out there or anything else in football. Maybe tonight's game, Atalanta, Paris Saint-Germain. Who do you think's going to win? And there's 1,000 of you tuning in. I swear to God, right? I want to see our Flick account numbers go past 1,000 tonight. Seriously. Do it now. He paid his money. It's good TV. Now, the guy told me not to end it now. He said, don't end the stream. Do it later. I think he said, don't end the stream. Did he? Or did he say, end of the stream, not now? That's the guy who donated the money said that as well. So I'm going to respect the man, you know. Trebles or invincibles? Oh, mate, that's such a dead question now. We all know it's the trebles. Every single Arsenal fan on the planet knows it's the trebles. If I donate £250, jump in with a backflip. All right, cool. All right. I can't do one, but I'll do one. You ain't going to donate. There's no way you're donating £250, but if you did it, I'd do that. Donate £1,000, I'll jump in naked. That's not. I don't mean that. That isn't true. That isn't true. That's a joke. Yeah, from my point of view, I feel like what were we even talking about now? I lost my train of thought. Who are we talking about on here? I've got to go back to what the question was. I actually lost my train of thought. Apologies. Oh yeah, the treble thing. Everyone knows it's that. Terry, what's your position? What positions will Grealish play if he signs for United? I think it will be wide left and attacking midfield. Maybe on. Yeah, that's what's great with Grealish. I think he can play in a midfield three. I think he could play on a 10. I think he could play on the attacking left-hand side. I really, really do. Terry, would Aston Villa's asking price drop if Grealish requested to leave? Absolutely. Comment here says, I prefer this. If we can't get Sancho, then spend 30 million on Sarr, 55 million on Grealish, or 40 million on Van de Beek. Maelung Sarr for free, or Gabriel 25 million and Telles for 25 million. This is the thing I've also said, and everyone have a sort of a different view on exactly what they would prefer to see come in. But from my point of view, like I feel like if we don't get Sancho, then we're in a position whereby we can still do something massive, even if we don't, right? We can still go out there and buy 4 or 5 players that make Man United's squad so much better. And like you said, if we brought in, my view, say we brought in Sarr, Thomas Partey, Jack Grealish, and Gabriel, and I'm not sold on Gabriel, but let's say we did, as an example, those 4, and maybe Telles came in or Tagliafico came in as well. If we signed those 4 or 5, but didn't get Sancho, I'm cool with that. Yeah, a lot of people talking about this young lad as well. It's Benrahma. I don't know much about him. I'm not going to lie. I don't watch the Championship. But equally, when it comes to these types of things, I'm kind of relaxed about it. We have another super chat here that says there's been no bid above 80 million for Sancho. Dortmund are on the stock exchange and have to do ad hoc messages if this would happen because it will affect the stock value. This is a fact. True. But there hasn't been an offer above 50 million is in initial payment. See, my understanding is, and I'm not an expert on the financial laws and rulings around companies on the stock market in Germany. I've got a few friends that work in Frankfurt. Maybe I'll ask them. But they've been offered, I think they've been offered 60 and 70 million pounds as upfront lump sums, respectively. The remainder of the money wouldn't be coming until 2021, 22, 23, and when clauses are hit. So it's not an official bid. And this is the thing. The media will always clump it together. But there are lots of stipulations around the installments. There are stipulations around the add-ons. And all these things will slow it down or speed it up. So I think it's really, really important to remember that. Van de Beek and Partey are needed, is what Stefan says. Hashtag Terry in the pool. What about Douglas Costa? No, not for me. No. Hello, baby. You say hello? Say hi. There we go. But any other subjects on any other teams? So we're talking a lot of United tonight. We could chat other people. Terry, which country is your house in? England. I'm in England, where I live right now. Atalanta for a shock 1-0 win. Could happen, you know. I haven't seen them really play much this year, but I'm excited to watch tonight's game. I'm excited to see what happens. I truly am. Terry, do you think Chelsea could flop next year due to having so many new players coming in and having to gel and adapt? Personally, I think the players they will bring in will either adapt or do very well or flop. Yeah, I mean, they're going to do either or either as a first initial season. I think that there's no need to get too deep into it. If they start the season, look at Christian Pulisic. It took him half the season to settle in England. You could find that happens to the majority of those players. What you can rest assured of, if you don't start like a freight train, some Chelsea fans will be angry, and your rivals will be out, bruv. Some rivals will be out for you. It's as simple as that. It's as simple and as straightforward to that. Yeah. Hello. You can say hello to everyone. Where you gone? Say hi. I'd pay £250, but I'm homeless if I do. Yeah, don't do it. Listen, don't ever do a super chat or sign up to anything if it isn't affordable to you. Seriously, never, ever, ever, ever do that. Is the deal with Davis real, Bayern? I've not heard about this deal, so I can't comment on it, I'm afraid, Walter. Sevilla FC. Bro, Man United, we're going to beat Sevilla, you know. Beating Sevilla is going to shut a lot of people up. And what I hope we beat them 4 or 5-0 as a United fan. But I would love a really crucial goal at a crucial time in the game to be scored from the penalty spot by the man, the myth, the legend that is Bruno Fernandes, best attacking midfield player in the league, bruv. The best around. No one's ever going to keep him down. It's as simple as that. And by the way, have you all seen the new 6-month badge that's out for everyone who's been a member of the channel for 6 months now? It's looking slick. The new black badge is out. Michael Ramsey here says Benteke is available for 8 million. Would be a great signing for Man United. Bruv, don't even say things like that on the stream, bro. Over 1,000 people tuning in right now. Over 1,000 people tuning into the stream right now. Please, let's get this past 1,000 likes. All hit the like button, please. Helps the channel massively. Maybe it's because you don't want to help the channel, you press it. Maybe I should say hitting the like button damages the channel. And everyone will do it. CFC Gem, one of our members and contributors, says, I'm doing Terry's laugh right now after the comment above Fernandes. Is there someone's comment about him or what I said? There we go. I want Ciancio at Chelsea. Sean Williams says, do you think if United don't get Sancho, they will go in for Sal and use Bruno predominantly as a forward-ish player, extend Mason's game time and further bring in a player like Traore or Sarr? Maybe they will. It depends how the situation with Grealish is left. If there's no opportunity of signing him in the future, then we may find ourselves in that very position. By the way, Cole, for your donation, that's actually the biggest individual donation that we've ever had on the channel. So a massive thank you for doing that. iTest is in the house. He says, if Dembele comes and does amazing, will you say sorry? Sorry for what? I'll praise him. And I'll say that he's realising his talent. But I won't say sorry for anything I've said, because everything I've said at the moment is factual. His body is made of biscuits. He can't stay fit. He's had attitude problems. And he hasn't delivered so far to what he's, because of all those things, what his potential and his talent and his ability suggested. If he comes in and delivers, I will just say he has now stepped up to that level. I'll congratulate him. I'll praise him. By the way, if he signs, I'll support him, because I'm a Man United fan and I want my team. I care more about United winning than my own opinion being right. And if you don't feel that way about your own football club, you're not a true supporter of the football club. If you support an individual player more than you support the football club, you're not a true fan of that football club. It's a fact. Cameron Lowe here of a super chat, who has said, worried about if PSG win the Champions League this year and Mbappe decides to stay, that would mean Sancho to Real Madrid almost locked in, potentially. Terry is a GOAT. I appreciate you saying that. I don't think I am, but thank you, bro. Terry, would Ben Chilwell be a good sign for Chelsea? Yes, he would. I think he's excellent. Lazy Fat Bet. Hello. Hello, my gorgeous. Love you. What did that comment say? I wanted to read it. As a Chelsea fan, I feel... Oh, no, not that one. Not that one. I've lost it now because I turned around. Oh, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Jem says here, Terry, do you think there will be more... Who do you think will be more influential for their team next season if Sancho comes in, him or Havertz at Chelsea? Oh, it's tough. I think Jadon Sancho will be, and next year, and the advantage he will have is he's English. He's played here before. He'll understand it all a little bit better. Dinesh says, evening, Terry. What do you think? Who do you think will win the Premier? Sorry, what do you think to win the Premier League you could only lose a minimum of 3 games and draw 2 or 3 games. Yeah, by the standards that Liverpool have set, Dinesh, that's absolutely true. That's the absolute standard right now. You can't drop more points than that. You just simply can't. But who knows if that standard will be maintained continually going forward. You never quite know. Daniel here with a super chat. Daniel Sweetman, thank you, sir. He says, do you see any possibility of a repeat of the Morata Lukaku deals? Could Sancho go to Chelsea and Havertz to United? And would you be happy if it did? I would be, in the sense of you're still getting a top level player. I wouldn't want a repeat of the outcome of Lukaku and Morata. Like, that would be horrible. Can you imagine that again? That would be horrible. The same as, do you remember when Torreira, Fred, and Jorginho were signing at the same time? Yeah, it hasn't really panned out so well either, although I quite like Jorginho. I like Fred as well, but I think Jorginho would make Man United a much, much better team. So I hope, Daniel, that doesn't happen. But is it a possibility? Yes, it absolutely is a possibility that could happen. But listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you very, very much for doing so. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. We'll be back live later on this evening. And see, if I said jump, I was trying to get away with it. All right, I'll do the jump. Let me just pull these earphones out, because I've got to move some stuff. Things I do. All right, I'll jump. Oh, man. Can you see it? All right. We'll just do that. I mean, clothes as well. I've got jogging bottoms on, you know. Daddy, jump in. Yeah? Are these... Yeah, Daddy's... Listen. I've got to take these jogging bottoms off, right? But these are like my gym pants underneath. So, do excuse me. Jump. A place like this in London would cost you about £5 million. The place where I live cost me a fair bit, but there we go. I'll jump then. Daddy, jump. Daddy, jump. Daddy, jump. Oh, all right. Daddy, jump. So I bomb. You can say ready, steady, go. Ready, steady, jump. Oh, oh. Oh. There we go. Thank you, Cole. Thank you very much. Take care. Backflip. Listen, I said if someone did 250, I'd do a backflip in, but no one did, so that's not happening. But here we go. I'll see you all later on this evening. We actually got an interview I'm doing as well later on this evening about the Koulibaly deal. We've got massive leading African correspondent coming on to talk about his potential move to Man City, maybe Man United. So we'll do that from there. But it's really nice to Paul. I'm actually just going to go back in and do that. Listen, take care, everyone. I'm going to go back in the pool for a bit, and I'll see you in a little while. Bye-bye.